Hi everyone, this is Hayes Castle with EFS Business Credit. We're here in Boulder, Colorado, and I've got a quick PowerPoint presentation. I think it's about 25 minutes that I'd like to go over with you guys, 30 minutes maybe. I'm long-winded. It's a 101, the beginning stages of business credit. But if you're at any stage in your business and you want some help establishing your credit to get you better terms, better interest rates, opportunity for business credit cards with cash advances on them, if you're in need of any of that kind of stuff, you need to give us a call. 720-662-6375. That's EFS Business Credit here in Boulder, Colorado. We have a software package that we sell to guide businesses through it. It's a never-ending process as building your personal credit. If you're building your business credit, it doesn't end. You continue to add trade lines and develop your profile for your business credit. And this is going to help you in many ways. We're going to go over some of those today. I'd like to first start and just tell you what we're going to cover today. Like I said, about 25-30 minutes. Give you a quick introduction. We're going to talk about what is business credit, why is business credit so awesome, and how do you start building business credit. And I'm also going to give you some tips and some valuable information if you're doing this on your own without either consultants like us or software like us to bring it all together and incorporate it. So at EFS Business Credit, we do everything related to business financing. We offer financing right through our software. We integrate with different banks, credit card companies, the credit reporting agencies, all integrated into our software. You can go to one spot and get most of your business credit, business financing needs met. We do, like traditional places, we do equipment leasing and financing. We do auto and fleet financing. We do collateral loans. We do mortgage loans. We do fix and flips, real estate type loans. We've got an awesome plan there where we can get you financing for not only the deal that you're doing, but for the expense and the upgrades to the property as well. We do all of that stuff. But what we focus on, what we're passionate about, what we consider our forte is building your business credit fundability. That's most of the work, and it's where most of the people are having the trouble. So you see, how do you get business credit for your EIN that's not linked to your Social Security number? No personal credit check, no personal guarantee. And let me tell you the freedom of this. I've had some small businesses now for a while, and one of them is real estate, rental properties, commercial properties. There's a lot of liability out there in real estate. In any business, somebody could slip and fall, or you could make some kind of mistake that affects your business's liability. And if that happens, you don't want to be commingling your funds, your credit, your billing, your accounting with your personal side versus your business side. And I got to tell you, most people do not even know what I'm talking about, and they've been in business for a long time. And it's because we've assumed, I was one of them, we've assumed for a long time that if you were going to start a business, if you were going to expand a business that you already had that was successful, you walked into your bank where you made deposits, and in that place, that's where you asked for funding. Most of the time, if it was anything like my experience, you'd get turned down. But when they see, how much you're depositing on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, then you've got some credibility, and eventually they loan you some money. But it's difficult dealing with the banks from a business standpoint. So our software gives you a one-stop place where you can do any of that. We have people that are on staff that do the financing and are constantly day-to-day researching different opportunities. So we're not talking about that today. I want you to know that we have that. But what we do is we help businesses establish their fundability through our software. And that's what we're mainly focused on day to day. Now, what is business credit? Okay. Now, business credit is credit that's in your business's name. Sometimes this may be, you may have a personal guarantee with a business line of credit or a business loan. But if you've got the proper profile for your business credit, and your fundability is up to date and verified through the credit reporting agencies, you're going to have very few times where creditors ask you for a personal guarantee unless it's a jumbo type of a loan. With business credit, the business builds its own profile. It's based on the EIN number. That's a separate entity from your Social Security number. And like I said earlier, it's easy to just think that the normal way of doing business is using your personal to bootstrap your business. And we can show you, even in startups, how to get funding for your business without ever even bringing in your first dime in revenue. So it's built on this profile we like to call fundability. Now, the credit that's in the business's name is based on the business's ability to pay, not the business owner's personal credit. So what this does for you, it's different than personal credit, those of you that know about how to build personal credit. In business credit, it's based on your ability to pay, your income, and your willingness to pay those net 30 accounts, credit card accounts, fleet accounts, anything that you've got financed prior to the due date. Because on a lot of net 30 accounts, net 15, net 60, they're not waiting for you to pay it on the 61st day or the 62nd day. It's due on the 60th day if it's a net 60, 30th day if it's a net 30. Well, you help the computer's algorithm if you pay that business vendor account early. So if it's due on the 20th, pay it on the 10th. You'll see a difference in how your credit score is built with Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax Business, as well as Experian business reporting. Your business credit is built over time, not overnight. When I first learned about business credit, I did what a lot of you are going to do. I thought, what? I'll watch all these free videos. I'll Google it, I'll get educated and I'll do it myself. And I did. For over a year on 2 of my companies, I did everything based on the free information that I got and did okay. Created some accounts, made some movement, but in 12 months, I had less than 3 vendor accounts reporting. 12 months. So we've seen in the experience that the entrepreneurs of you that want to do this on your own, the information's out there. We'll give you we'll give you all of the information that it takes to build good business fundability and to build good business credit. It's just that we're able to do it for you or with you, however you choose, and speed up the process. So if you're doing this on your own, count 24 to 36 months before you can obtain 10 to 14 different business reporting experiences. Okay. Now, if you're using our software and not our coaching or our consulting, you can cut that down to less than a year. Okay. Our software is awesome. If you need to do that in 6 to 9 months, then you hire us along with the software and we'll help you get that done. 14 different trade reporting lines with Dun & Bradstreet opens you up to the kind of funding that most people are looking for, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 worth of credit lines where they can pull cash from. And a lot of these are 0% interest for up to 18 months. So no, this is not done overnight. I've got 2 of my different little small businesses that I'm building business credit with. One of them's up to 9 trade lines in 90 days. And the other one I'm doing a little bit slower. We have 4 trade lines on that one in the same 90 days. I just hadn't spent as much time on it, honestly, as I have the other ones. Okay, so why is business credit so awesome? There's a bunch of different reasons, but think of it this way. If you're walking into your bank in the next 12 to 24 months and asking for any type of business type of loan or line of credit, which we recommend, when your business fundability is set up in such a way to where your banker can pull up your Dun & Bradstreet report or your Equifax or Experian business credit reports and see all of the different trade lines that you have and the people that you're doing business with and how long you've been doing business with them and how big your other trade lines are. They have a better picture of your business than just the deposits that are coming in. And this is going to give you better interest rates, better terms, and open you up through our software to additional credit lines. We're about to, in one of our companies, apply for this hybrid loan, which is anywhere between $50,000 to $150,000 worth of working capital, and you need to be in business for at least 6 months for that. But you don't have to have any. It's all stated income and estimated income for your business. So you don't even have to have $1 of income in on that particular loan that we offer. But let me tell you why it's so awesome. Okay, it doubles your borrowing ability. So now you can, for instance, the way this looks like, let's say that you borrow $100,000 for your business. Okay, you get it in your business name, your business EIN number, and you're paying it back with your business funds. You get ready to go buy a property on your own house. Now that loan is not going to come up on your personal credit. You didn't personally guarantee it. It's not under your name, it's under your business's name. And that frees up your borrowing ability. Usually on your personal side of your credit, in order to be qualifying for decent interest rates on residential properties, your personal properties, you need to have your debt ratio under 36%. With your business, it doesn't matter. Even your personal credit is based, 30% of it is based on your utilization. So if you've got $100,000 worth of credit worthiness and you're spending over 30% of that available credit, then it affects your credit score on the personal side. On the business side, didn't work like that at all. You can have a $100,000 line of credit and be using that $100,000 line of credit, and it does not affect your score. It actually helps your score because you're using the credit that's been awarded to you. So it doubles your borrowing ability. It makes you more lendable, like we talked about. If you walked into your bank, what they're going to pull up on their computer is going to amaze them, because most of the time they're looking at things that are very spotted on people's credit reports, addresses, 2 or 3 different addresses maybe. Maybe you have multiple locations, but you don't have them set up right. Different phone numbers, different spellings of your name, different entity representations. Maybe one of them says 3-in-1 Distributing Inc. One of them says 3-in-1 Distributing. One of them says 3-in-1 Distributing Corp. You know, all of that needs to be congruent, and it makes you more lendable. Now, this has nothing to do with personal credit. We're going to coach you and guide you into separating your liability from your personal credit to your business credit. And I would even tell you that if you've got loans, we're coming up to maybe a recession this next year, 2023. I hope not. We may avoid it, but if it does come, you want to have 2 or 3 different sources with business credit lines that you can pull from, especially at low to 0% interest rates. and you want it to be separated from your personal credit. Those of you that have had experience in real estate know that say the recession of 2008 or 2009, a lot of people lost a lot because they had corporations that were buying rental properties, renting rental properties, and then guaranteeing these loans with their personal credit. When their business got in trouble, so did their personal expenditures and liability. So separating this from your personal credit is valuable, very valuable for you, for your business. It's a lot easier to grow your business with business credit. You could go to a particular vendor that you've never done business with, apply for an application, and when you've got established business fundability, which most people don't have because they don't know about, then it's easier to get the right kind of terms and the right kind of interest rates for that particular vendor. No collateral requirements, no cash flow requirements. Awesome. Okay, you can be a new business, with most of these vendors. Now, when you get up to some of the other ones that are $50,000, $150,000 lines of credit, they're going to want to see some activity. But the beginning stages, when you're building your fundability and going through our 7-step program, which is based on 4 tiers, you'll see how that works. It's perfect for startups. Now, how do you start building business credit? Well, it starts with fundability. Okay, you've heard me talking about that. I'm going to do a video on this. There's 125 different fundability matrix to build in business fundability for your business, for your EIN number. And there's a lot of really simple things, but they're missed. It's based off how is your Secretary of State listing set up, your IRS for your EIN number. Do these names match? You'd be surprised at how many don't. I had one that didn't. And then when you set up your website and your telephone for your business and your whatever else, your advertising for your business, when you go and get your office address, when you do all of these things for your business, your fundability, then when people pull your credit and know this, I may have missed this earlier, anybody can go pull your business's credit report. I can't go pull your personal credit report, but I can go pull your business's credit report and see exactly what you're doing. Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, and Experian all. Just pay a fee, and they'll give me your credit report. So when your creditors, your vendors pull that report, then they can see that you've got your business lined up, ready to do business. Now, the easy ways to build business credit is to make sure that your business is set up credibly. We like to call it fundability. You've heard me talking about it. It's at least 60% of your business's credit worthiness is your fundability. Simple things like 411 directory and so forth are important that your company is listed with. Now, I really hate to call this step 1. There's so many different steps, but in the beginning, you want to make sure that your entity is correct. You can't build business credit as a sole proprietor. You need to be an LLC or C corporation, S corporation. Your business address, very important, okay? Can't use a P.O. box. Don't use your home address, even though when you get up to tier 2 and tier 3 and you get a $10,000 Amazon credit card, they don't mind if you use your home address. But most of the Chase, and U.S. Bank and the other ones do mind. So you need a business address. I'm going to do a video on virtual addresses and which ones work. That way, if you don't have a physical address and you're working from home, set up a virtual address so that it at least checks out as you having a business address. Same with your phone number. Now, if you are using a cell phone, some of the carriers will allow you to go in there and change how the name comes up when you call somebody or when they call you. If you can do that, you're fine because that's what they're going to check. I actually have a Verizon corporate account So under my corporate account, it's listed under my business's name. They've got me as a contact. They don't have my social security number or anything because I've got great business fundability. So we'll show you how to do that as well with your phone number. Your email and website. You know, a lot of people think that's a huge expense. If you don't have it, get it. Okay, go to GoDaddy. It's easy to set up a website. Get an email address based on a domain name, and you're talking about $10 for a domain name. You know, you can get a website for, I don't know, a year for $300, hosting and everything. So take the investment if you don't have it. If you do have it, just make sure your spelling is correct. Make sure that your email address is not hayescastle@gmail or hayescastle@hotmail, but that it's hayescastle@EFS Business Credit. And then that way, when you're applying for loans, they see that you're a professional. Now, your license and other docs. I can tell you I did this with my businesses. Two of my little small businesses are wholesalers. They do CBD products for the pet industry. And, you know, I don't need a license to do wholesaling. There's nowhere in the state of Colorado and the county of Boulder that I need a license to distribute CBD to licensed resellers. I'm not charging sales tax, so I'm not in that situation either. However, I went out and found a business license in Boulder County for $25 and bought it under that company's name. Now that goes into Wikipedia, that goes into all these different background reporting agencies that find their way up to Dun & Bradstreet, okay? And it's going to give you more credibility to have a license. Your business listing, wherever you do advertising, everything, make sure you are congruent. Business bank account. Now, in the early stages of some of these vendors we're going to be talking about today, you don't need a business bank account to get approved. But this is something that's under the 125 different fundability matrix. So put it on your priority list. Okay. Okay. Now, this is called step 2. I don't like that. We're going to get approved for a few different vendor accounts. Now, these are 3 easy accounts, startup accounts. They're all going to give you $1,000 worth of credit just to start. If you need more than that, they'll give you more. One of the 3 is Granger. Granger will actually increase that credit line, I think $2,500 if you have that business license that you can submit to them as well. But these are starter accounts. You definitely need your name congruent. You need your phone congruent. And you need a Dun & Bradstreet number if you have not registered for one. We have a video on that. And you need your Secretary of State to be matching your name everywhere. If you're at that first little beginner stage of building your business credit, go ahead and apply for these, okay? Because the process is long, right? The process is like this. You apply for a Granger, Uline, I'll just show you, Granger, Uline, Quill. You apply for these accounts, okay? You first get approved. Let's say they all come back today and say, okay, you're approved for $1,000 under each one of these accounts. Now, every one of them requires a $50 purchase. So you go in and you find something that you're going to buy at the grocery store anyway, or maybe something you need for your business is what it's really supposed to be for. And you buy $50 or more, okay? They send the item to you and they bill you at a net $30 for that account. Now, what you want to do, you don't want to wait 30 days to pay these accounts off because they're never going to even request to report it to the 3 different credit reporting agencies, now 5 different credit reporting agencies for business. They're not even going to send it in until after you pay that invoice. So let's say that you got a 30-day net, you want to pay it 10 or 15 days. Pay it early, okay? They're going to send it in to Dun & Bradstreet, and it still takes 30 to 60 to 90 days, sometimes quarterly, before this shows up as a credit trade line experience on your Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, and Experian business reporting accounts. Okay, it's a long process. You can't go on to some of the other ones we're going to set up until you have 3 credit experiences being reported. Dun & Bradstreet will not even issue you a report unless you've got 3 or more credit experiences being reported. So don't think we can do 5 or 6 different business, vendor accounts today. We can do the starter ones. There may be a few that we don't know about yet that we're finding out about, but you do a few, you build those trade lines, and now with those trade lines, you qualify for some bigger and better retail type credit cards, then fleet type financing in tier 3, and then the big stuff in tier 4, which is going to be your big lines of capital, cash credit cards and such that you can get under your business name. Okay. Now here's a business building tip. Continue. Okay. Some of these companies may even tell you that you have to continue purchasing with them. You need to purchase with them at least every 12 months or you'll lose that reporting. But once the ones we're teaching you, once you've purchased with them, once they've reported, they'll continue to report. It's just a matter of one thing you want to take into consideration. If you've got a need to purchase some of this stuff on Granger, Uline, and Quill, if you get a $1,000 credit line and you spend $100, it shows. So they can see, okay, well, they got $1,000, but they're only using $100. So there's no real need for them to give you more credit on that particular account. So if you've got a $1,000 credit line and you're using the $1,000 credit line once or twice, then now you're going to see that credit line go up and then therefore affect the credit lines that are being reported to Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, and Experian. Okay, we're just over an hour now. I told you I'm long-winded. Now, as you get approved, you continue to use that credit regularly. We just talked about it. Pay your bills timely. Pay them before the due date. Always by using credit instead of cash. Then pay off the credit, okay? If you're at Sam's or Costco and you're buying stuff for your business, you don't want to pay for it with a personal credit card. You want to pay for it with a credit card that's in the business name and that you're going to pay off. Otherwise, you're commingling your credit. And if you've never been audited before, then you try explaining that from your memory 2 or 3 years from now to the IRS. No, you want it clean. You want credit cards. If you're buying gasoline and card, you want some fleet credit cards for that stuff. If you're buying online, you probably want a different type of credit card for that, but in the business name, not your personal name. Okay? You don't want to make mistakes when it comes to taxes, paying yourself back, even if you go to lunch. Think about it. You go to lunch and it's a business lunch and you pay for it with your personal credit card and then later you try to pay yourself back. No, you're just asking for trouble. Don't forget to leave your Social Security field blank on the credit applications. If some of these business applications, vendor applications and so forth ask for it, then leave it blank. Call them. You're going to hear me saying this a lot to a lot of people. Some of the awesome things our software does, you can get done on your own just by calling the companies. For instance, in our software, before you apply for a Chase Ink card, it's going to tell you everything you need to know, everything you need to be able to qualify. How many years in business, whether they check your revenue, whether you've got a Dun & Bradstreet number, an Equifax number, Experian number, other trade, business account, business license. So it tells you everything you need to know. You know if you have that stuff before you ever apply, and then therefore you reduce your chances of getting declined. Okay. Well, if you don't have that information, if you haven't bought our software, call them and ask them. Okay. Same thing with who they report to. Our software will tell you before you apply for your Chase Ink card who they report to. If they report to Dun & Bradstreet and they report to Experian, but they don't report to Equifax, our software tells you that. You can also call up the company and ask them. If you've got a place for your Social Security number and you don't want to personally guarantee that particular vendor account, then call them up and tell them, say, I'll give you my Social Security number so you can do a soft pull, but I'm not interested in personally guaranteeing this business account. That's why I have a corporation in the first place. Okay. Now, I went over an hour, but I did want to cover all this. I'm getting better at doing these, so hopefully this one was a little bit clearer and more useful to everyone. Thank you for tuning in. And listen, any business questions you have about business credit, building business credit, give one of our guys a call. They'll be happy to talk to you and our advisor team. Thank you again, Hayes Council with EFS Business Credit.